Hello, everyone. Welcome to Women Created and Called. I just realized I think I'm putting this on my personal page instead of my business page, but that's okay. Welcome, everybody. Today, I am going to share with you some thoughts about Advent, and I will be going live every day this week, Monday through Friday, and because there's really 5 parts to this. And the theme of this week is getting ready and being ready. So we're going to start with the getting ready part. And as the word implies, getting, that implies action. So today we're going to talk about specific actions that help us get ready during the season of Advent. So today's title is Get Your House in Order. And a little tagline to that is get cleaned up and make room. So when we're talking about getting your house in order, the reason why I brought this up is because last week, it's so funny. Last week, I was listening to the Hallow app. So you may be familiar with that. If you're not, I highly recommend it. It's a good one to check out. It's the most popular prayer app in the world right now, which is really cool. But they're doing the Advent challenge. And one of the things that was discussed was the different types of preparation that we do, the different types of Jesus coming that we prepare for during Advent. And I think I heard that actually after in my personal prayer time. I'm pretty sure I heard God say, get your house in order. So I was then mulling around, okay, what specifically can I do to work on getting my house in order, or at least improving in that area? And I realized this means not just physically, this means mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of the things we are called to get in order during the season of Advent. So it's so perfect that that came up. And of course, obvious, right? So today I'm going to talk about some different things, different ways that we can get our house in order. So let's start with our physical space, okay? So when it comes to the physical space, it can mean, hey, we do some cleaning up. We do things like putting away do you see this behind me? We do things like putting away our fall decorations and getting out Advent and Christmas decorations. I'm actually in the process. Those are going away today, I promise. So that might mean, the decorations piece. Also, you might be having people coming to visit. You may be getting ready to offer hospitality during the season. And so maybe there are rooms to clean up. Maybe there are, bed sheets to change. There are things to do to get ready to have guests. So that's another piece of the physical space. But these are all important. But if you need to just narrow it down, think about what in my physical space could prevent me from having the kind of season that God wants for me. So, for example, if there's clutter in certain spaces of your home where those spaces are ideal places for you to make memories. For example, if your kitchen is cluttered, then it makes it difficult to do things like making Christmas cookies with your kids or your grandkids. So things like that. Are there things in my physical space that could prevent me from having those experiences this Advent and Christmas season that are really valuable, that help me connect with other people, that help me create memories, help all of us create memories, right? I know there are definitely some places for me that I get to get cleaned up to make it easier for those memories to happen. So that's an example of your physical space. Okay. Now let's talk about your head space or your mental space. When it comes to this, there are thoughts that you may be having about the Advent or Christmas season that might be preventing you from having the best season, or as I said before, the kind of season that God would want you to have. So I'm talking about your thoughts. So if you just grab a piece of paper and you just think about, what are all of the thoughts that I am having about this Advent season or the holiday season in general? What are all the thoughts that I'm having? And then just write them down. It's so important to write them down, because when you do that, then you can look at them a little bit more objectively and you can determine, okay, is this thought really true? Hold it up to truth. Is it true all of the time? And if not, then ask yourself, okay, what else is possible? So for example, if you are thinking, I am going to have to see this certain relative at Christmas time, and this person is always, I don't know, this person is always annoying. I don't know, whatever they are. If you're having a thought like that, then that will affect the way that the emotions that you have when you're around that person. It will affect the emotions even that you have around other people, and it will affect the actions that you take toward that person and toward other people. So it's very, very important to recognize the thoughts that you're currently having and clean them up. So in that case, number one, is it true all of the time? Well, maybe no, there was that one time when I actually enjoyed being with this person and they weren't annoying at all, or they're not annoying to other people. So maybe there's just something in the dynamic that I have with that person. Or so basically you have proven it's not true all of the time. So then you can ask that next question, what else is possible? Okay, so that could, when we're talking about the headspace, that is great when you're looking at your relationships, but there's also, think about the thoughts that you're having about this holiday season. Are you thinking there's too much to do? Are you thinking, I've got so much to do, I'm feeling overwhelmed, and then your actions are that you run around, you're hustling everywhere, you're like a chicken with your head cut off, and you're being very short with your words with the people around you? Are your family and friends suffering because you are thinking that there's too much to do, I'll never get it all done, and you're feeling overwhelmed? So this is another case where you can examine that thought and think, is it really true that there's too much to do, and what else is possible? So maybe there is many things on that list of things to do, or at least it seems to you like that's a lot. Okay, well, what else is possible? Can some of these things be delegated to others? Can some of these things be crossed off the list completely because maybe they don't matter quite as much as I thought they did? Here's an example. I think I shared this last week when I was on with an interview. An example is maybe you're preparing the holiday meal and you're thinking, okay, in the past we've had all of these different foods at our holiday meal, And so we just need to do that because that's the way we've always done it. Well, what else is possible? What if you ask every person who's coming to that holiday meal, what is one food that is so important to you to have at that holiday meal that if it wasn't there, it just wouldn't feel like Christmas? And then they tell you, and you make sure that that item gets on the menu. And guess what? You're going to end up with a full menu. And everything else that you thought was important, if nobody mentioned it, you can cross it off the list. You don't have to prepare that. And not only does this save you, you have one or, you have fewer things to do, you also save a little bit on your grocery budget because you're not preparing foods that aren't really necessary. So that's a little exercise in cleaning up your head space, your mental space with the things that you are thinking about the season. And it's helpful when you realize what those thoughts are, then replace it with, once you realize that something else is possible, replace it with a different thought. For example, in the meal example, maybe instead of I have to cook all of these different foods, maybe the thought to replace that is I will make the foods that matter to the people I'm celebrating with. And there's your thought. And when you think about that, what emotion do you feel? Do you feel a little bit more calm? Do you feel a little bit more peace? Do you feel like it's possible, a little bit less overwhelmed? Or maybe the overwhelm is gone completely. And then you can take the actions to actually make that happen. So that is the head space. Okay, how about the heart space? Maybe we should have started with this one. What can we do to get ready during the Advent season? And actually, some of this, the heart space, is also partly head space. But the things that I would recommend is, just like we did with examining our current thoughts, that word examination, do an examination of your conscience. Okay, so now we're talking about not only am I examining the thoughts that I'm having, but let me also examine the actions that I've been taking. Are there places where I have been unkind towards someone? Are there places where God has given me some grace and I have not responded to it in the way that He would have wanted me to, or even in the way that I would have wanted to? Where are the places, if you're examining, where are the places that I just refused to receive God's grace and I refuse to acknowledge it and respond to it? So making sure that you get to confession during this season is very, very important. That is what is the most effective way to get ready, to clean up your heart. Literally, when we receive God's grace and mercy in that sacrament, that is literally what happens, is your heart, not your physical heart, your spiritual heart, your soul is cleaned up. There is no better way to prepare to receive God's grace at Christmas time and in every moment of every day than to make sure that you go to confession regularly, because that is how you create a blank slate, right? That is the way that you are able to be completely ready to receive His grace in every moment of every day. And maybe it's a day when you're not able to get to confession, doing that daily examine at the end of the day, or maybe you do it midday or both. Those are ways that you can get ready to receive Jesus. So now here is your challenge. All right. I'm going to ask you to choose 3 immediate actions that you can do today. Immediate, right? That you can do today, maybe even in the next hour. Who knows? Maybe they won't take as long as sometimes we think things are going to take much longer than they actually do, right? So what are 3 immediate actions that you can take to either clean up your physical space, your head space, or your heart space, so that you will be more ready to receive Jesus? Now remember, the different ways that we get ready to receive Jesus during Advent, or the different ways that he will be coming to us, is we can receive Jesus every day and every moment through his grace. He comes to us, his grace is available, right? But there are things that sometimes, whether it's physical or it's mental or it's our heart, sometimes there are things that we do that prevent us from being ready to receive that grace. So that's the daily, the moments, that's the actual grace, right? The ways that he comes to us in those times. Then we also prepare during Advent to receive him at Christmas time in the nativity. We prepare for the baby Jesus coming to earth. And the third way is that we prepare for his second coming, which, as we know, could happen at any time. We do not know the day or the hour. And so this is something that we should be living every single day of the year, every season of the year. We should be getting ready to receive him in all 3 of these ways. So whichever way it is, what are 3 actions that you can take to help you be prepared, to help you get ready, get your house in order and get ready to receive Jesus in one or all of those ways? And then here's the second part of the challenge. I challenge you to share those 3 actions that you are committing to. Share them with someone. A great place to start is to share them in the comments of this video. When you type it out or even speak out what you are intending to do, it is more powerful and you are more likely to actually follow through with it when you tell somebody else. So if you want to take it an extra step, after you comment and you tell us the 3 actions that you're going to take, also go tell somebody who's in your life, who is in person, and they can also help hold you accountable. So that's my challenge for you today as you are getting ready during this Advent season. Now, tomorrow we're going to talk about another way that we can get ready in order to be ready. Did you notice at the masses this past weekend, the readings for this weekend were about being ready when Jesus comes? So the way to be ready is to take the actions to get ready. So that's why we're talking about that this week. Today was about how you could get your house in order, whether it's your physical space, your head space, or your heart space. And tomorrow we're going to talk about another way that you can get ready. So I'll see you then. And I hope you're having a wonderful, very blessed Advent. And I'm excited to share this week with you as we talk about getting ready and being ready. So have a wonderful day, and God bless you and all those that you love. Bye.